Hey there, camera. It is 3:15 a.m. Uh, Monday morning, December 20th. Since completing my very last thing for winter semester, which was that strategic presentation I talked about in my last video on Saturday around noon, I have watched a total of 9 films. Yeah. Yeah, the second to last film I watched was I Am Heath Ledger, which is another like vlog type documentary thing, very similar to Val that I watched yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago since it's Sunday morning now. And man, I want to start recording more of my life. Both of these films this weekend have left a big impact. I guess inspired me to really start doing more of this. Because I know it feels boring now, but I do think, looking back on it, it might still feel boring, but I don't know, something I talked about a little bit in my Letterboxd review for it is that I think doing this kind of vlogging will kind of semi-solidify a legacy. And I guess I do want to leave a legacy behind. And I thought I might do that with making movies or whatever, but I don't know, I think recording myself and talking through it like this is more of a certainty. And I guess narcissistically, it's one that actually focuses more on me instead of one that focuses on the work that I create. And I suppose as I continue to make this stuff and as I continue to make other works, these videos might be more interesting, not just to me, but to people that I run into in my life, or potentially, depending on how things work in my professional life, they might interest people who look up to the work that I produce. That's crazy. That's really crazy, actually. I don't necessarily, I don't know. I don't know if I want people to look up to me or not. I don't know. I've thought it would be kind of cool to have people look up to me. But with the realization that that's a possibility in my line of work, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I know a lot of people have a fear of failure, but I think I kind of have a fear of success. And that I know once I become popular, and I guess it does happen now, but at a much smaller level that I feel more in control of, people will look at me and judge me for the things I do. And I don't know. It seems scary to me. Because I don't even know if I'm fully comfortable with the things that I do. Who I am, all that stuff. I think I've gotten a lot better at it this year. I put a real focus on self-discovery and different things this semester that I haven't done as much of in the past, or at least when I was doing it in the past, it was more introspective than active. So I think it was more difficult for me to discover myself then, but now that I've been more active with my discovery, I think it's been more fulfilling, I guess more obvious who I'm trying to be and what I want to be. But I don't know. So a lot of improvement and a lot of changes that I think will be made before I'm finally somebody that I am happy being. And it's not that I'm unhappy now. I'm not really going through any depressive periods or anything like that. I know it may sound like I am based on how I'm talking now and the fact that I spent the last week or so locked in my room, but I do feel pretty good. I'm not sad, so there's no concerns there right now. That does crop up every now and then, but no, I'm good right now, so no worries there. I considered putting a shirt on before starting to film this, but I mean, no one's gonna watch this, and I want to shoot what I shoot without having to modify my existence. And I've been shirtless all day, so I'm gonna continue being shirtless when I shoot this, because this is the real moment that's happening and one that I try to stage in some way. I got my heater on. Parents would kill me if they knew that I had it on my bed, but I don't know. No fires are starting here anytime soon. It's not even that cold. I just really like warm air hitting me. Going back to me actually filming this stuff, I don't want to come off pretentious. I feel like watching these things, Val and Am Heath Ledger, have kind of left this impression that those two are kind of full of themselves. Because why would they be recording themselves this much if they weren't a little bit narcissistic? But maybe I'm just a little narcissistic too. I think they're more pretentious than me, but maybe that's just me putting that on them, and that's not really what they are. But I don't see myself as artsy as them. Like Val Kilmer got into actual like art to the point where he created a little museum or art exhibit to show it off. He spent years working on a one-man show about Mark Twain, and then touring that around the country. And he went to Juilliard, I think, if I remember that correctly. So, as a pretentious artist, I think Val Kilmer kind of fits the bill, especially when he was upset with a lot of the films that he was working on. Or not upset, but not fulfilled, I suppose is the better way to explain that. And Heath Ledger, based on the documentary that I watched, didn't really have much of an acting education, if any. Sounded like he just did some stuff in high school and then moved to LA. I think he worked on a small Australian show before he moved to LA. But the first thing he got in LA was 10 Things I Hate About You. A lead in a feature film. I'm like, dang, okay. But even after he did that, I mean, he was directing music videos and apparently was in talks to direct Queen's Gambit when it was still a movie and not before it became the hit show that it has. Which I find that fascinating. Didn't know anything about that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be comparing myself to Val Kilmer or Heath Ledger. I'm not saying that I am or that I'm trying to with this vlog stuff, but I don't know. Maybe I want to get to the point where I can compare myself to them. They both seem to lead very fun, fulfilling lives. And that's something that I'm not entirely sure I'm doing right now. But one day, maybe. One day, maybe. As I said in the last video, I am very content with who I am right now. And I'm very content with where my life seems to be headed. So I don't want these vlogs where I'm talking about stuff and being uncertain to sound like I'm not happy. Because I am happy. I don't know. I could always be happier. I'm probably going to watch a 10th movie and fall asleep. So, good night. I assume you can see me. The light is bright. I just finished the documentary Harry Benson Shoot First, and brilliant guy that I didn't know anything about. It was cool to watch it and learn about him. But also, it helped me realize that as exciting of a life as he led, being, I guess, introduced and befriending all kinds of famous people, for my life, I think I would much rather I would much rather be the story rather than chase the stories. I want the camera to... Man, I am narcissistic, aren't I? I have a legacy to leave behind. I know that. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this video looks okay and the audio is decent. This is on my phone, of course, but any little thought I have, I want to start just pulling out the camera and recording it. But yeah, Harry Benson, brilliant photographer. I think in many ways, watching this, pictures almost do feel more impactful than moving pictures. When you have to just focus on one frame instead of absorbing 24 every second, often with audio put into it as well. When there's just one picture, one moment that you're able to focus on, I think there's a lot more meaning that can be interpreted from that picture. You put yourself in it more, I think, than watching something. So those pictures are brilliant. But yeah, there's just a thought I had watching this documentary. I still love movies. I still love video much more than photography, but I think photography can capture a much greater emotion in a much briefer period than it takes a movie to do the same. That's all. It's 5:30 a.m. now. These have been my ramblings. These have been my thoughts. 10 movies in a weekend. That's a little crazy. I gotta step outside. I'm going home later today, so I'll be outside then. Toodaloo.